Alright, Shalom Akim. Before I get started with the lesson, I want to give all praises, honor, and the glory to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Harakakudash, and of course, as always, double honors to our apostles and elders that rule well at Great Millstone. And also, Shalom to all you sincere Akim, preaching this word in all truth and in sincerity. This is Amos, chapter 9, verse 1. It says, I saw the Lord standing upon the altar, and he said, smite the lintel of the doors, that the posts may shake, and cut them in the head, all of them. And I will slay the last of them with the sword. He that fleeth of them shall not flee away, and he that escapeth of them shall not be delivered. Though they dig into hell, thence will my hand take them. And ultimately, this is dealing with, Esau, man. Okay, Esau. Because Esau is the head of the whole world. They control everything in this earth, okay, according to their witchcraft, according to the global market when it comes to, your everyday life. These guys, they run this world, all right? As it says in Job 9:24, the earth is given to the hand of the wicked. So therefore, they're the head, okay? They're the shepherd, all right? What does it say right here? It says, just cut them in the head, every one of them. So verse 2, though they dig into hell. And, Esau spent millions and millions of dollars, billions of dollars to actually dig into the earth, man. Okay. He was actually trying to break into the mantle or the crust of the earth. He was trying to get to the core. And them Russians, they actually have documentaries on the internet that you can find. Of course, at one time, these documentaries were on the television, but of them using technologically advanced drills, mining equipment to actually dig into the Earth's mantle or the Earth's crust. Now, we don't know what they were doing it for. Obviously, it's to search out the ways of the Heavenly Father. But they were actually digging into these, into the crust, into the earth. And we know that Esau, ultimately, he has what you call DUMBs, which stands for Deep Underground Military Bunkers. Okay. They also have underground cities, which connect to those bunkers. And a lot of these, a lot of these people, these kings of the earth, as the scriptures say, which I'm about to pull it out, they're going to dig into the earth. All right, let me get that. This is Revelation 6:15. And the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman, and every free man, hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains, and said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us, and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb. For the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand? Right, so these kings of these other nations, and everybody that has a high place in this system, okay, that has the advantage to enter into one of these DUMBs, these underground facilities. All right, they're going to want those underground facilities to hide them from the return of the Lord, man. Okay. Why? Because it says it's a great day of his wrath. It's a great day of his vengeance, his payback. All right, for what they did to him and his chosen, his elect. When you read about what happened to the Lord in Rome, ancient Rome, during the AD, okay, the beginning, like it was like, oh, man, I would have to go back and do the math, but it had to have been about, 60 AD, 50 AD, around there. Salakia if I'm off with my math, but they tormented the Lord, man. They didn't just put him on the cross and crucify him. No, man, they humiliated him. They did things prior to putting him on that cross, man. They slapped him around. They put a crown of thorns on his head, man. Okay. And when he was up on that cross, they gave him a piss to drink, man. They made him drink piss, man. Just gall. All right. So that's fucked up, man. Then after that happened, they were persecuting the disciples. Okay. They started persecuting his men. Salaki, let me do away with my notifications. So there's going to be a great recompense for that, man. All right. That's why it says in Revelation 1 and verse 7 that all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him, even they that pierced him. Okay. So going back to this, Amos 9 and 2, though they dig into hell, yeah, those mountains, those rocks, those caves, those dens, those underground facilities, underground cities, then shall mine hand take them. Right, the elect, okay, the angels are gonna gather them, according to Psalm 149. Though they climb up to heaven, thence will my hand bring them down. And though they hide themselves in the top of Carmel, yeah, once again, these mountains, though they climb up to heaven, because they got space stations, they're going to go up into those space stations, and then the chariots are going to get them, man. The angels in the chariots, man. So-called UFOs, they see them all the time. That's why the scripture also says that terror shall take hold of him on every side, no matter what Esau plans to do. Okay, the vengeance of the Lord is there, and he sees it. Okay, he knows that ultimately he's going to be taken. But he's a proud demon, like Pharaoh. Pharaoh didn't want to listen. Pharaoh's seen all the power, but the Lord put a proud spirit on Pharaoh. The Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart. When somebody's heart is hardened, that means they don't give a fuck, man. They can't give a fuck. And that was Esau, Edom. That was Pharaoh. Now it's Esau, Edom. All right. And though they hide themselves in the top of Carmel, I will search and take them out thence. And though they be hid from my sight in the bottom of the sea, thence will I command the serpent, and he shall bite them. Yep. That serpent, okay, is dealing with Leviathan, man. This is a quote by Edward John Smith, who was the captain of the Titanic. He said, even God himself couldn't sink this ship. Foster said, so early 20th century, especially in Sunday sermons, spun the disaster in religious terms. He can't cheat God in that way, said B.L., author of the book Down with the Old Canoe, a cultural history of the Titanic disaster. Yep, so that Edomite John Smith blasphemed, talked shit, and said, hey, even the Lord can't sink this. Even the Most High can't sink this ship. And guess what? The Lord did sink that ship, man. You know, let me get this real quick. This is Psalm 104 and 26. There go the ships. There is that Leviathan, whom thou hast made to play therein. Right? So they did all that scoffing, all that bullshit talking. And ultimately the Lord said, okay, I'm going to sink that ship. And we believe it was Leviathan, man. Okay, because that ship was state of the art, man. That ship was ahead of its time. You know, the Titanic was ahead of its time. It had mechanics and technology that was like almost like the advanced military of that time. So they had them kinds of what you would call sonar, so they could see glaciers and whatnot. It wasn't no glacier, man. It wasn't no glacier, man. They had the movie Titanic where glaciers cut the ship, but they showed you when they were building the ship that it was like so strong. You know, it was actually the Lord that sunk that ship, and he used, I believe, Leviathan, man, to take that ship down. Because the name itself, Titanic, okay, goes back to Titan. And a Titan is, something that's very, very mighty, man. Strong. Massive. Okay. So that's what I believe, man. And let's touch a little bit on Leviathan. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but let's just touch a little bit on Leviathan. Let's see. This is Job 41:1. Canst thou draw Leviathan with an hook, or his tongue with a cord which thou lettest down? Canst thou put an hook in his nose, and bore his jaw through with a thorn? Will he make many supplications unto thee? Will he speak soft words unto thee? Will he make a covenant with thee? Wilt thou take him for a servant forever? Wilt thou play with him as with a bird, or wilt thou bind him for thy maidens? Yeah. Are you going to be able to capture Leviathan like you do to a regular fish, to a regular sea creature? You see what they do to these whales, man. They harpoon them. Okay, they'll catch them, steal them from the ocean to put them in the wild, to put them in captivity. Steal a whale from its family in the ocean, and then take it to marine world. So he can be a spectacle to you people. Are you going to be able to do that with Leviathan? Hell no. Hell no. Verse 6, shall the companions make a banquet of him? Shall they part him among the merchants? Canst thou fill his skin with barbed irons, or his head with fish spears? Lay thine hand upon him. Remember the battle no more. Do no more. Behold, the hope of him is in vain. Shall not one be cast down, even at the sight of him? So you ain't gonna be able to capture this creature, man, and capture it and prepare it for a meal. You ain't gonna be able to divide it to sell at a meat market, fish market. Okay, you're not gonna be able to do these things to Leviathan, man. And there's more than one. All right, Leviathan is a plural. There's more than one. It says at just the sight of him, people are going to be cast down, man. That's how dreadful Leviathan is. Okay. It's verse 10. None is so fierce that dare stir him up. Who then is able to stand before me? Who hath prevented me that I should repay him. Whatsoever is under the whole heaven is mine. I will not conceal his parts, nor his power, nor his comely proportion. Who can discover the face of his garment, or who can come to him with a double bridle? Who can open the doors of his face? His teeth are terrible round about. Right. And it talks about his teeth. You know, when you look at shark teeth, okay, shark teeth are like, they're double-edged, but it says that Leviathan's teeth is sharp all the way around. You know, sharp all the way around. His scales are his pride, shut up together as with a closed seal. One is so near to another that no air can come between them. They are joined one to another. They stick together. They cannot be sundered. It says his scales are his pride. That's his armor, his defense. You know, and it says nothing can sunder them, meaning nothing could break them open. Okay. What shows you that is that movie, Godzilla. Godzilla is just a very small definition of what Leviathan is, man. Okay? And they show you in Godzilla that they shoot missiles at it, they shoot rockets, they shoot guns, different types of weaponry at it, and they can't harm it. They can't break through its scales, its pride. You know. Verse 18, by his neesings a light doth shine, and his eyes are like the eyelids of the morning. Out of his mouth go burning lamps, and sparks of fire leap out. Out of his nostrils goeth smoke, as out of a seething pot or cauldron. His breath kindleth coals, and a flame goeth out of his mouth. See, so clearly Godzilla is a small representation of what Leviathan is. Because they show you that Godzilla can, blow smoke out of his nose like a dragon, breathe fire, blow fire. And when Godzilla gets pissed off, its eyes will start to glow, and all the spikes on its back will glow. And he'll charge up to make that throw that big old laser. Well, Leviathan's going to do the same thing, Says that his eyes glow, So it's just a mere representation of what Leviathan is. And this is prophecy, man, because we just read it. That when they go underwater to try to escape, well, the Leviathan are going to get them, man. No matter what Esau does, man. No matter what your people do to try to escape from the hand of the Lord. All right. So with that, I'm going to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai.